Hey everyone, welcome to the Rally Report podcast. Going to try something new for the listeners at the beginning segment here before we go into the interview where I recap the big squash news of the week that we should have our eyes on. I'll do it in a quick fire way, as we all know the important thing here is the interview with the guests. Keep in mind, I'm no smooth talker like Bill Buckingham over at Squash Radio, so do be kind. All right, so here's the weekly Rally Report roundup presented by your host, Sean. World Teams, everybody. It's fully underway and genuinely curious how many of you actually commit to tuning into all these matches, especially in the early stages. Obviously, there are a couple matchups here and there that are exciting, but the event as a whole is pretty boring, is my hot but not so hot take. But starting with the women's side, should be an absolute cracker, and I'm sure everyone's clueless on who will take the title. And yes, I'm being completely sarcastic there. The Egyptian team on the women's side is Nour El Sherbini, Hania El Amami, Rowan El Arabi, and Amina Orfi. I think the biggest storyline there is Noran Gohar not being a part of that squad. And while her statement is that she's undergoing surgery and recovery during that period, which I know she posted on Instagram for proof just now, I do find the timing of it to be suspicious, to say the least. Come on, I think it's bullshit. She literally just won the Hong Kong Open. If anything, she looks healthier than ever. Now, my hot take is that there's just no way she wants to be teammates with Hania El Amami, and clearly Hania has a better relationship with the Egyptian ladies there, so there's got to be some bigger, darker politics going on there. Anyway, more importantly is usually after these events, the Egyptians seem a lot more friendly with one another, which begs the biggest question of today's recap. Will Amina Orfi's handshake improve after the World's experience, or will it continue to be her signature no eye contact slap the hand move? I'm dying to know, and we'll be keenly following along all our matches in the future events. Only the ending, obviously. But on a serious note, I do think the matchup that intrigues me the most in this event would be Team USA versus Team Belgium in the case that Olivia Weaver can play. I do think that double matchup between Amanda Sobey and Olivia Weaver versus the Gillis sisters, Tina Gillis and now Nella Cole, should be an absolute cracker with all the players being in the top 10. On the men's side, if we get it out of the way, again, that the Egyptians will sweep the whole thing, there are a couple storylines and matchups we should be looking out for. There are two matchups in particular which would be interesting. Team England versus Team France and Team USA versus Team Switzerland. Praying that these matchups will form at one point in the tournament because there's quite a lot of drama there. There's definitely the Timmy Brownell versus Dimitri Strymon beef from the US Open, which has definitely not died down, as seen with last year's Worlds teams, with Simon taking the deciding match against Shahjahan Khan and proceeding to scream at what I thought was Team USA's bench. Let's see if we can get that rematch again. And with Team England and Team France, come on, guys. I know everyone saw that feisty door incident between Victor and Mohamad El Sharbaghi, so it should be a spectacle to see that rematch, or if any mind games will be played in that one as well as the Baptiste Moussadi and Marwan El Sharbaghi matchup. Who doesn't like that matchup? Honestly, this World Team event is a yearly reminder of how disbalanced squash is nationally with Egyptian dominance. And candidly, the competition, it just doesn't excite me that much. It's just not fun, especially in the group stages. What it should be is Team World versus Team Egypt. Now, that's something I'd be more inclined to watch, but even then, I think the result should be one way. But do hear me out on it. Imagine on the men's side, it'd be Ali Farag, Mustafa Asal, and Mazen Hisham lineup versus Diego Elias, Paul Cole, and Joel Macon. And fuck it, lineup on who's playing what position isn't mentioned till 1 minute before play begins. Now, that's something that would get me tuning in, even if it's 3 a.m. in the morning. But delusional me thinks that, if they poured all that money into the World Teams and made it into this event, should be great for viewership. But I do realize how ridiculous that is and all the good squash that comes from World Teams events promoting squash. So don't give me too much shit for that. But honestly, who's really tuning into these events till semifinals anyways? Anyway, that's the Rally Report recap for you, and on to today's interview. He's big time, people. We got one of the biggest name of our sports right now, who's stealing headlines in every tournament he's playing. Appreciate the big man doing the podcast as he's in Hong Kong, getting ready for the Hong Kong Open. 17-year-old phenomenon, already ranked 29 in the world. Welcome, Mohamad Zakaria. How are you doing?
Thanks, Sean. It's my pleasure really. And I'm very, very happy to be on this podcast.
Yeah, hopefully third time's a charm, right? People don't know the background, how many times we attempted this.
Yeah, oh my God. Thankfully we're here.
But let's get straight into it. So you're in Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Open right now. I was kind of looking at your draw. You got Timmy Brownell, first round, the American who's rising up the rankings, and then we have either Hesham or Greg Lobban. I'm going to assume it's probably Hesham in that next round. Curious how you feel about the draw. I mean, it seems like you're doing great against players around 30 to 40. All these levels, I think you're kind of passing them. We're already ranked 29. So kind of walk us through your mindset going into this tournament.
Yeah, no, it's It's a good draw. Really, you can't really underestimate anyone at this point. Everyone plays good now, and yeah, it's a platinum, so gotta go really focused because I know what are the stakes at this tournament, and yeah, it's really exciting because this one has a lot that can happen after this tournament. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one, to be honest.
What do you mean? Can you expand on a lot of things that could happen in this tournament?
Like I mean, ranking wise, is if I get certain wins, I can really achieve a lot this tournament.
Well, you're doing the whole platinum event this year, right? You're able to do it with your ranking points. How's the travel been? Has it hit a toll on you?
Oh my God, it's terrible. I hate traveling a lot, but I think, I really adjust, like my clock. I really adjust sleeping well because I don't really like to sleep. I hate sleeping. And, so it's, yeah, I think I can like manage jet lag very well. It's only like getting on court that's a bit difficult in the beginning, but then it gets easier as we go on. But like traveling sucks because I travel from Egypt, so everywhere is far. Nothing is near.
Is the tournament helping you guys out with hotel stay, or do you have to plan this all yourself right now?
Yeah, no, the tournament has has a hotel for us. Yeah. But only a day before we're supposed to play, which no one goes there a day before the tournament starts. Yeah.
So you're doing your own thing right now before you have
At the moment, yeah.
I'm curious, when you go to these tournaments, obviously, Zachary, you've been so many upsets this season, so many upsets. What is the ambition when you enter these tournaments? Are you being pretty realistic with yourself with where you can achieve, or are you thinking every tournament you go to, I'm going to win the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm never realistic with myself. I'm always, because I mean, where's the fun in that? I need to be like very, very, very crazy to achieve great things. So like I aim very, very big just because when I fall short, it's not that short really. So, yeah, so I like the way I think. I never like to put a limit for myself. Why not win the whole thing? And, yeah.
Gotcha. And kind of going into this, I think Simon kind of worded this great. I was going to ask, on your best day, where do you think your level is? At your best, where do you think you're playing? If you were to compare with a player or to like level in the rankings.
Like on my best, I would say I hate this question, but on my best, I would say top 6.
Top 6. Fair enough.
I think that's a reasonable answer, to be honest.
I think that, yeah, given how your results have been. And I hate to harp on the losses of this season because you've won so many, but I think honestly your losses are more interesting than your wins because you're beating everyone. But I was just tracking down outside of the top 10 of Asal and Elias, you've lost this season to Victor, Miguel, and Eain. And they're at the cusp. I mean, Miguel, he's achieved a lot in the sport, and Eain and Victor are at the cusp into the top 10. So you already know how high their level is. And I was going to ask you, because I saw the Victor match, but I wasn't able to see the Eain because no fucking live stream for that one. But where do you think you fell short in those 2 matches?
So I'll take them one by one. First one, Victor, I saw the finish line way too early. I thought I didn't think I had him. I was 2-1, 6-2, 5-2. I saw the finish line way too early, which is something I can never do. And I really like learned that the worst way you can learn this. But yeah, I learned that very well. And it's like, it's never over until he says match to Zakaria. And, yeah, no, this was a very good match. I played very well most of it, but came up short because I saw the finish line early. But I was playing really well. I had some very good patches in there where I was leading the way. Second match, what did we say? Yao? No, Miguel.
Yeah.
Miguel first.
Yeah, Miguel.
Miguel's match, I mean, we have to give him credit. He's 38, moving like he's 15. And, yeah, he moves exceptionally well, knows where to put the ball. And the thing with him is he can play an exhibition way and he can play like in a clinical way as well. So, yeah, that's, I think I just handled the match. I played from start to finish the same way, not changing anything, not, adapting to the court because the court I thought was very fast and I didn't like it that much really. But no offense. I like the open squash. Like I like the venue where it's at, but I just don't like the court, which is very reasonable to be honest. Um, yeah. So this match, I just needed to change mid match and see, oh, this is going wrong. This is not going wrong because I didn't have a coach there and I thought I just needed to think on myself because this is how it works. This is how I improve. Just think when I watched it back, I was like, oh, you needed to change. You can't play the same way from the beginning to the end. And, yeah, not going into too much details. And, so what's the last match? Yeah. Oh, this match didn't have a live stream, did it?
No, it did not.
No.
Frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good match. Again, 1-0, 8-3 to me or 8-4. And, yeah, it's again, this stupid finish line. I hate the finish line. It's just the way I just get, super excited at the moment. And, yeah, but I was playing exceptionally well in the third and until it all went away. And, yeah, it's just the losses I learn a lot more from than when I win. Not say I hate losing. I hate losing, but, yeah, it's just that my game only changes when I'm losing, not when I'm winning. So, yeah, yeah, it's just that these matches, I wish there was a live stream for Yao's match just to watch it again to see what I could have changed, but there wasn't anything. So I really forgot the match. I can't tell you any.
I was going to ask, so I think I was talking with Simon about it. I don't know what that was, but I was asking Simon about it, I think he said he watched your match with Dimitri in China Open. Do you feel like there's a old guard, people kind of trying to bully you out in these games in the senior circuit right now as people, you're 17 years old. Do you feel like people don't want the success you might have at such a young age? Do you feel that blocking? Do you feel that type of bullying kind of go into play with these older players right now?
Well, I mean, shout out to Simon first. He said some really good stuff about me. Love you, man. So it's a basic thing. They all think I'm just young and I can't get around. But, yeah, of course, most of them do the same, but it's not really, it's not that, like, I don't think about it that way. I just try to focus on what I need to do, not really get affected by something else. But, it's just that whenever something like this happens, I just need to think more and more about where I'm putting the ball, where I need to put the ball. If this is happening, then I'm putting the ball in a terrible spot. I need to rethink what I'm doing. So it really just alerts my mind of, oh, you're putting the ball in a terrible position. You're putting yourself in a terrible position. So rethink it again. Try to get yourself out of that and move him away from you.
What part of your game do you think is surprising so many of these players right now without giving away too much?
I would say my weight of shots.
It's a good answer. Keep it a little broad though. And I want to kind of go into, so the two losses you had within the top 5, top 10 have been, you've had the opportunity to play Elias recently and also Mustafa Asal this season. What would you say is the difference between those two versus perhaps Miguel, Victor, and Eain, or like the other player? Do you feel a huge difference when you're playing with them, or not really?
Well, of course, there's a difference. If we're talking like top 3 level, there's there was, I mean, of course, there's a difference. The way they have so much, components to their game. Like it's not like, it's not juniors anymore. You're not going to beat him in a certain area. It's not like his forehand is bad or something. They have so many different like so many different ways they can get out of a situation that you need to always think, okay, this didn't work. Try this, try this, try this, try this. So you keep asking questions and, you just need to keep asking and not getting bored, because that's how you're going to win the match. It's not like you're playing against number 2 and 3 in the world. Of course, they can get solutions. So you need to keep trying and not get bored from not working it out early in the match. Whereas, sorry, you might get whatever you're doing to work with someone else or like a lower ranked player to work like easier from the first game or like the second game. But here it's like completely different.
Did anything shock you while playing those two? Something that you weren't expecting?
No, not really, because again, I watched them a lot. So, I mean, I watched them several times, even when I was younger. So nothing really surprised me. I know what they're capable of. I know what they're doing. And, no, nothing shocked me really.
Which match do you find more difficult between Asal and Elias?
Elias's match, but they were both really, really good matches. But I would say Elias's match was a bit more difficult. But it was like similarly, but Elias's match was a bit different.
Let's talk about juniors a bit. Obviously you're still 17, right? So I was going to ask, what is the biggest difference right now with junior tour and senior tour? Is it, you alluded to it earlier about how juniors might have a little weakness here and there, but seniors, they don't really have. It's more pattern of play.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Well, there's a huge difference between the junior and the senior circuit. And I think, younger juniors and like lower ranked juniors are starting to feel it when they start playing on tour. First of all, it's how much more fit are the guys on the PSA tour, extremely more fit than the junior players. And again, finding more solutions than a junior player would. Like you can, like if you're a junior, you would get your opponent broken down in like a couple of points games. It would take maybe like a top PSA player hours, maybe matches until you figure out what you need to do against him. But what I would say is the big difference is just that on the Pro Tour, every match is like, it's like an end match. It's like a war. It's like, every match there's a lot more than just winning and losing. So it's, so everyone gives their all in every match, and it makes it harder for you, of course, for sure. Way more than juniors where maybe it's not as, how do I say it, as, serious. Let's call it that.
obviously you're way ahead of everyone right now on the junior circuit. That's pretty obvious. Is there anyone that you think could potentially close the gap in the next year or two, or anyone just impressive in general?
I mean, I'm not really keeping up with the junior tournaments anymore, so I don't know. Maybe I would need to watch the British Open to see who really I find his game playing well or not. But at the moment, I'm not so sure of who's in there anymore. Most of them are outside of most of them are like, they got the age, or they got 19, so they're not playing in juniors anymore. So, yeah, not so sure at them. I would need to wait a bit to give you an answer for that.
Are you going to play the British? No. Or no?
No.
Just World Juniors?
Just World Juniors, yeah.
Are you aiming for 3, or after next, you're aiming for 3?
Yeah. So it's, I'm aiming for 3, and I won't play the British Open because I just needed the amount of you never get like a month and a half, or like not a month and a half, a month and like 15 days between the tournaments to like really build something. I can really benefit from this amount of time to like put some more work in and like, get my body more stronger. So I was like, yeah, me training in this time would be much more beneficial than winning another British Open for sure.
I don't know exactly how it works, but do you have to play the junior circuit to get proper seeding for the World Juniors, or that doesn't matter?
I think the World Juniors is a bit different because they would look at my PSA ranking. I'm sure. Okay,
that's a pretty stupid question then.
No, it's not stupid, but yeah, I mean, you don't know, how will you know? But because it's yeah, I'm sure they would look at my PSA ranking because it's not like I'm missing these tournaments on purpose. I just really need the time.
Yeah. So there's going to be, you're part of the you're essentially going to be so young even when the Olympics happen, right? I'm sure that's an aim. And who knows, you might play 2 Olympics, 3 Olympics if squash even stays in the Olympics. Do you think you put more weight on the Olympics or World Championships?
Like, what do I value more?
Yeah, as a big time goal.
Oh my God. How do you get up with these questions?
Just trying to do my best here.
World champs or Olympics?
Because I feel like usually players would answer World Championships, but I feel like with you, it might be different given where I don't know how much you weigh either, because Olympics, it's such an achievable thing for you.
So for me, I would say it's a tough one because Olympics is like, it's like the greatest achievement you can ever do in any sport. Hands down, the best achievement you can do in any sport. But a world champs is still a world champs. Like, you're the best player in the world. But Olympics, you're not really playing against everyone, because if they take 2, you're playing against the best. No, I would say Olympics.
Olympics.
I would say Olympics.
Cool. Fair enough. I was going to ask, I think, so I asked some people that, because I'm going to have you on, I think on the Reddit forums about what they wanted to hear about you. And I think a lot of people were curious about the Egyptian junior system, right? As someone who's fresh off succeeding in the junior system in Egypt, obviously people have answered this before in the past, but I'd really like to hear your take and your perspective on what do you think is the difference between the Egyptian junior system versus other countries, which allows Egypt to be so ahead?
Again, I would say it's incredibly more competitive. I would say Egyptian juniors have more pressure coming into the junior tournaments. It's not as, I mean, I don't want to say it's not as fun, but it's more of I want to win than I'm enjoying myself. And at some point, I want to win is also better when you're younger, because you would always have like, oh, I don't want to lose. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. So when these younger guys or girls, they build this up from such a young age, they keep this with them until they grow up into the senior. So I would say just it being super, super competitive makes them just want to work hard and not seeing anyone succeeding more than them. I would say that.
Isn't it tough with burnout, with the amount of pressure you get with that? Or do you think it can be sustained?
I would like the pressure. No, the pressure for sure is sustained. I would say like no, it's sustained for sure. And I think, I mean, always pressure is privilege. Again, I like this quote a lot. Pressure is always privilege because they know what they need to do and what they can't lose. I mean, again, when they are going into the tournaments, I mean, because again, you can watch the junior tournaments here in Egypt. You would be amazed. It's, the thing is, the club would be going in shambles, everyone screaming, and like cheering for themselves. Younger guys, like 8, 9 years old, they would be cheering for themselves like crazy. And, yeah, I mean, the atmosphere of these tournaments is actually very, 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 very good.
At what point did you feel that you were ahead from all these junior players? Was it like last year? Was it 2 years ago? When did you kind of
Which players?
Amongst junior, when you're doing the junior circuit, this is this past 2 years has been the time you've been playing the seniors adult circuit, but before then you've been doing the junior circuit.
Yeah.
Do you know pretty early on? Because I remember your name was getting mentioned a lot. I think, was it the 2022 World Juniors or 2021?
Yeah, when I was 14. But I started knowing I was a part when I was 13 because I started being, if I'm right, number 1 under 17 in Egypt when I was 13. Yeah. 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 I think I was, when I was 13, I think I was number 1 under 17 in Egypt. Competing with, I was actually like number 1. And then, Salman Khalili is now in Penn squash. He's, we were like 1 and 2. He would be 1 for some point of the season. Then I would be 1 and then he would be 1 and then he carried on. But he was my rival at some point. At this point, he was, I hated him for life. Just kidding though. I love him. He was very, very, very tough to break down back in the day. And, I loved all our battles. He was a great friend of mine and now he's studying at Penn. So already doing great things. And I really, really wish to see him again.
I remember that year too, you guys did the World Teams events. You guys all seem very close, which I found incredibly fascinating because it's such especially in Egypt, such a competitive landscape, right? I don't know how you guys can even be friends when it's such a dogfight in there, and then also be teammates, right? In a way, especially during that event. But do you do well in separating friends and competing, or has that been something tough for you?
I mean, it's important because again, you deep inside, squash isn't forever. Like you're going to finish the tour, then what really counts is the relationships you made, because these are the people you're going to be in touch with after you finish. But it's not only going to be about the squash. But, I really like the way, like I would be doing relationships every time I'm on tour, making new friends, seeing new people. And, it's just, again, squash isn't forever, but the relationships you do, they carry on with you.
Give us a little bit of more of like your typical training day of what you've been, how it runs. I think I'm sure the nerds out there are fascinated by your day to day and.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I really like to keep like a routine, like a same thing carried on, and I don't get bored. I love repeating the same thing. So I start off with like solo in the morning, a lesson with a coach, like a session it's just like hitting some balls. Then I would do some physical work. As you can see, I'm jacked. Just kidding. Then I would go back home, rest a bit, and then come back again. Um, come back again at like around 6:30, play with
Mm.
someone. And yeah, that's a basic. I start this around like 12:30 or like 1 after I finish school. I come out a bit early just so I can carry on the day. And yeah,
So who's your main coach right now?
so it's Ahmad Shuhaib. But he's over in the US now, but he's still like, he's my main coach. But when I'm in Alexandria now, I work with Ala El Turk, and yeah, I do a lot with Ala in Alexandria when Vitor, his name is Ahmed Shuaib, my main coach, when he's in the US. But when I'm in Egypt, like in Alexandria, I do a lot with Ala in the moment. And yeah, and Ashraf Karagi, not sure you know any of these names, but yeah, no, but my main coach is Ahmed Shuaib. He's over in the US now, which sucks really bad.
Would you move to US? No.
I won't move, but I will go to him eventually, like every once in a while.
I mean, you earlier mentioned one of your competitors going to Penn, and I'm sure you've seen the growth in the US college scene. Is that something that you may consider, or not really at all?
No, not really. Not really. Yeah, it's
Do you think that's
just not the way I would be devastated if I see my ranking going down. I would kill myself, and I just won't put that in risk really. And this is something that I want to do, which go to world number 1 as soon as I can. I won't want to have anything to affect that, because I mean, going into a top college school or like a college, it would require a lot of time. And I'm not one of these guys that just does the thing for the purpose of just doing it. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it well. So I can't just get into college just to get the degree. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to live through the experience, and I won't want that to affect the way I'm playing right now.
Zakaria, who do you look up into? Do you look up to anyone in the senior game right now? I know there's a lot of comparisons with you and Farag. Do you agree? Do you even think there are similarities, or what do you think the differences are?
Well, I would say there is like a bit of similarities with the movement. But it's like, you can't look up to someone while you're playing them. Like, it doesn't work like this. You can't be looking up to someone where you should be beating them in the next like couple of months, years. So, it's just, you can't look up to someone, but of course you admire the way they play, of course, and you try to take the good things they do, just like Farag, Diego, and, yeah, everyone, like really Asal, everyone. And, you try to take the good things they do and try to add it to yourself, just to have more features. And, yeah, but really, like, back in the day, I would say I always like watched, not back in the day, I would go back and watch JP. Yeah, it's, yeah, I watched
copy his personality too.
Not really, but yeah, I like to watch, I like to watch him a lot, and I watched his documentary several times. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
How have you been enjoying / not enjoying the media hype?
I mean, I love the media hype for some reason, because that's how you really would get the sponsorships, you get the recognition. So I like the media hype, but at the same time, it's not always the best of the best comments on you. So you got to be, yeah, you got to be very, very careful with what you get into your system and what you always neglect. So you got to be that type of person where like, everyone won't like you. You're gotta have someone that won't. And, but yeah, I'm very, very grateful that I don't have a lot that hate me. And, and yeah, no, but it's, no, I love, who doesn't love to be hyped on media?
Fair point. I'd love to be hyped. Who wouldn't be? How is it in Egypt? I obviously know the media coverage that you get on PSA and stuff, maybe outside of Egypt, but I'm sure the sport is so much bigger in Egypt. Has it been overwhelming with the amount of media coverage you're getting recently? Not that, am I overinflating it right now?
I won't say like the media coverage is as big as internationally.
I see.
Like, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, so that's a good point. So until I won World Juniors, I was getting treated some way. And then after, not by, and then after I got like way, way different. Everyone would come up to me and get, and take pictures with, as soon as I won, everyone would come up and take, I was like, guys, I literally took second the year before, and no one was doing this. It's really just a step forward, and at the same time, like last year wasn't a bad thing as well. But yeah,
Pretty, yeah.
it's life. It's life. Yeah, but yeah, it's fine.
All right, Zakaria, I'm going to transition into the blind rankings and quickfire segment now. I don't know if you've seen any of these, but do you know the blind rankings?
I do not, sadly. I only watched the part where Simon talked about me.
That's good enough. So blind rankings, I'm going to give you 5 player names, and you're not going to know which player name is going to come next, but you're going to rank them accordingly.
Oh my
Does that
God.
make sense?
I won't want to do bad about this. Okay.
Ready? First name is Ali Farag.
So I have, oh my God. Are you starting with this?
I indeed am.
I have five spots.
There's going to be 5 spots. Yeah. Put Ali Farag within the 5.
My God. I would say number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Next name is Rami Ashore.
Number 2.
Amr Shabana.
Oh my God. You're destroying me. This is like, oh my God. 3.
Mohamad El Sharbagi.
I'm going to go at 5 because I know you're going to, actually, no, I'll go at 4. I mean, come on.
4. 5 is, next name is Kareem Darwish.
Oh my God. You screwed me for life on this one.
I did. I'll let you swap one.
You let me swap one?
Yeah, switch one. Just one.
So I said Farag, Rami, Shabana, Shorbagi, and Darwish.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose count. So Farag, Rami, Shabana, Shorbagi. Okay. So we're ranking this like achievement wise, right? As like the greatest player.
Zach, you can interpret this however you want.
Oh my God. I would switch Mohamad to second.
To second. All right. So that's over. I'm curious, are you happy with that ranking if you switch that? Or if you were to give your honest take on how you think you'd rank those 5 players, how would you rank them? Or is that the ranking you'd give?
I mean, cause I'm ranking them on like, achievements recently. Cause yeah, it's, like I ranked them achievement wise, and I think it's, yeah, I like it if it's going Farag, Shorbagi. I'm not so sure if Shorbagi achieved more. I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, it's going to be like 1 and 2 between these ones for sure, achievement wise, like I'm sure. And it's gonna be and then I said Remy, Shabana, and then Darwish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. What do you think?
What do I think? Damn, no one's asked me that.
Like, what would you rank them? Okay, I'm gonna switch that right now.
How would I rank them? If we're doing by achievement, it's a tough one, right? Because I think Farag's won more world championships, but Sherbagi's won more titles in general.
I think so. Yeah,
that's the tough one. And I think Amr Shabana and Rami both have a lot of world champs. I think Darwish would be 5. The disrespect I give there is crazy, but
no.
5.
No hard feelings there. Everyone needs to know this.
Darwish at 5. I'd put for achievement. Oh my God. I think I'd be.
It's tough. See the situation you put me in?
I know. Damn, I'd probably put, you know what? Screw it. I'll just say it. I think I'll put, fuck it. I'll put Rami at 1. Surprise. Rami at 1. I put Shrbagi 2, Farag 3, Shabana 4.
Okay. Reasonable.
Right, I'm about to get a lot of hate for that after, but we'll see. All right. I'll switch the quickfire segment, which just quickfire segments, just answer. Who do you think is the best ref on tour?
Oh my God. Best ref on tour? I think you're gonna put me in a lot of trouble here. Best ref? I'm sure I had someone in mind. I don't have a favorite one. No, because I barely know their names.
They're all bad.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. I can't keep up their names. I don't know their full names. That I have someone in mind, but I don't know his name. And He's Australian. I know he's Australian, and he refed for me in China, but I don't know his name.
But he was good.
He was very good.
Okay.
And like a good ref is like a ref that has a pattern, consistency. Yeah. I think he was very good. I really want to remember his name, but I can't.
We'll get to the bottom of it after. How about best dressed player on tour?
Best dressed? Men, right?
Yeah.
Men's, right?
Men. Yeah, keep it to men.
I've seen most of them. I would say, who would I say? I don't have an answer for that. That's a weird question. I don't have
quick fire set. This is the quick fire. No name comes to mind.
No, Dimitri?
Dimitri, wow. People, how about worst dressed?
Worst dressed? No, I won't answer this. They will kill me.
People have answered it before.
What? I would make this funny. Bernard Jawe.
Worst dressed, got it.
He's my friend. I'm joking about this.
Any player, anyone from the PSA that you'd like to see, hear on the commentators booth?
Active PSA player that I would like in the commentators booth. I know this is quick fire, but I need to think. Okay, someone I would want. So I would like someone to be very, very like I won't want someone to be very tread lightly. I would want someone to be like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is great. I like this. I really actually want to see like one of the tournaments having like an actual like strict commentary, but it's like in a funny way, you know, where like, oh, that's a terrible shot. Oh, it would be very funny. But it's a tough question. Who would I want?
Sounds like Bernat Jama might be good from what you're saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would pay to see this happen. I would pay loads of money to see this happen.
How about favorite tournament and least favorite tournament of the year?
Favorite tournament is Qatar.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, Qatar, amazing. And least favorite, again, putting me in trouble, but I would say this. Least favorite. Let me count the tournaments I played. On the world events, right?
Any event you can say.
Any event.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know you did the Challenger last year, so maybe some from the Challenger Tour.
I mean, the ones I picked were good on the Challenger Tour, and surprisingly, I'm trying to remember like the worst one. No, there wasn't like a tournament I was like, I'm not going there again. Yeah, no, I didn't have that. Maybe it was the China Open, but not because everything there was amazingly run. Everything was on point. You don't even have to think about anything. The food. Oh my God.
Food wasn't great.
I couldn't eat anything. There wasn't anything to eat. I literally lost like 5 pounds there.
It's funny. And maybe they should add the freaking live stream next year.
Oh, and the live stream. My parents didn't watch me on one of my better wins.
So frustrating. This is so early to ask you, but would you want to coach post-career?
Yes, I will.
Wow. Pretty nice.
Yeah. I would make a great coach because I know a lot. And I would want to help someone reach further and further. And like, I would love to transform someone like start not as good and then become extremely well. I would love for something like this to happen, or maybe like coach a national team. I would love to have something like this to happen.
Would you rather want to coach like very specific players, or would you want to like do an academy type of thing for like
not an academy? I wouldn't want to have an academy, but I would want to have to be a national coach, or to be a national coach or specific players or like a university coach.
Most underrated player on tour, and why?
Most underrated. Top 100 or?
No, don't matter. It could be outside as well.
Most underrated. I'm really thinking this one through. Okay.
No, you take your time. Take your time.
I'm just getting through the ranks. 15, 16. I don't know. I don't have anyone in mind.
No one.
I don't have anyone in mind, no.
That's interesting. No one's
'cause
underrated.
I mean, because what is the rating? The rating is the ranking, right?
Fair enough.
And the ranking is a result of the tournament performances, so you're never underrated, dude.
Anyone you think you think is playing higher than what they're ranked, or you think they're all where they're ranked?
I definitely have an answer for this, and I won't answer
You won't answer.
because it would get
All
me
right.
in so much trouble. But I would.
So, one player that you don't like playing on tour
That I
for
don't
any
like.
reason, like it might be just bad matchup.
A player that I won't like to play against.
That you find difficult to play against or anything.
Oh, difficult. I mean, even if I have someone that I find difficult, I won't say because I won't
You
give
don't want
him
them to-
the. I won't.
You don't want them to know.
I don't want them to know, and that I find them difficult, so I won't really say.
Fucking crazy competitive, man. I promise you no one's listening to this podcast, but
What?
promise you the person you pick will not be listening. No, don't worry. I'll make a big deal out of it. But wow.
Yeah.
That was one of my toughest guests right now, Zakaria. Won't answer anything for me. But
Only these two questions, the overrated one and the.
well, guys, that was Zakaria. Thank you for joining in on that interview. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to wrap it up there, folks. And hopefully we'll get him on next year and he'll give us more insight on, and he gets in less in trouble for the things he answers. So thanks, Zakaria, for joining in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me. And hopefully next year I can give you more answers for sure.
100%.